Hi, sports fans, and welcome to the Ultimate Football Show, Series 4, Episode 6. I'm your Commissioner Sway. Guys, glad to have you on for another awesome UFL podcast. We have a great group of guys on the pod tonight. We'll start off with some introductions. First and foremost, we got King Jew on the pod. What's going on, man?
Yo, just reading about dicks and mouths right now.
All right. Glad to hear. Rory Yaki, Mr. Rorbotron, is on the pod. Glad to have you. He's taking the place of Renard tonight. Renard couldn't get out of his AA meeting, so Robotron gracefully stepped in for the pod, so glad to have him on.
Good morning.
Jersey, we got JT on the pod. Jersey Tank and his Cowboys bringing his wide receiver down to the studio here. What's going on, man?
What up? You already know Kendall Russ.
Yes, sir. I'm sure we're going to hear that name quite a bit tonight, so we'll try to keep it limited for now. So, also, the one and only Grant Slushashaka. Slush, what's going on, man? Are you with us?
Not too much, man. Glad to be here again.
Are you with us?
All right,
I'm right
man.
here. You hear me?
Yep. I got you, man.
Yep, I got you, man.
All right.
Glad to have you on the podcast tonight. So we got a full crew here tonight. So lots of stuff to talk about. We haven't had a pod since late last season before the playoffs started. So first and foremost, congratulations to Darn Good, who pretty much ran the gauntlet to get his UFL Bowl title, his first UFL Bowl title, and took down quite a group of owners. I don't think anybody could have picked four owners tougher than the guys he faced. So congrats goes to Darn Good. A lot of off season stuff too going on. But before we talk about that, we got to have a moment of silence. We did have a death in the UFL. Wide receiver AJ McCain from the Seahawks. 4 games into his rookie season, unfortunately played the San Francisco 49ers and didn't quite make it after that 4th game. So, unfortunately, it's a shame that such a bright career was ended so early. So we're going to take a moment of silence and, just honor Mr. McCain. So, okay, I think the moment's up, so we're going to keep moving along here. Guys, off-season, pretty productive off-season. I think we crammed everything into about a week's worth of activities. I think it went along pretty smooth. And, Slush, I'll start with you, man. What were your thoughts on the off-season? Any big trades? Teams shaping up their rosters, and we also had the draft. But what was your general thoughts on the off-season?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
My thoughts, basically, I think it was pretty decent. The draft went really well, I think. I think a lot of people got their guy.
Started recording.
And as far as the trades, I can't really recall exactly who went where, but it was shaking up pretty well. I got a guy that I really wanted, and then the Dallas Cowboys shipped out Murray to the Falcons, and he's being productive. So whoever actually is benefiting from their moves.
Yeah, I mean, quite a few trades, a lot of small trades, smaller trades going on. A couple of the big ones, which you mentioned, DeMarco Murray getting traded. Definitely questionable trade in many people's eyes, but most of them were positional players, role players that and also some picks changing hands, which went along to the draft. King G, what were your thoughts on the draft itself? You were there, obviously. It's about a 2-hour draft. What were your general thoughts on the whole process there?
I thought the process went really smooth. I was surprised how well EA did. I was also surprised when somebody wasn't there that they had one of the best drafts. Who was that?
Oh, the New Orleans Saints. Who's gigging?
New Orleans Saints, one of the best drafts. The computer did a great job. We even had a girlfriend picking a few picks, I think, here and there of one of the owners. It was pretty smooth, and compared to the past drafts I've been a part of, it was well done with the in-time trading, too. I really like that.
Yeah, definitely had some firsts in the draft. And I think one of the best things about the draft was there were so many, the way they have it now, there were so many opportunities to draft, role players and guys that you thought highly of that may have slipped on some other people's boards that you thought would be a great player on your team, would fall. I think, looking at the talent pre-draft, I really didn't see past the third round that there would be much as far as talent past the third round. But I'll be honest, I think everybody was pretty much engaged, and we got through all 7 rounds. And I think even people were excited to pick in the 7th round. So, Rory, I'll ask you your thoughts on the draft. You got a strong safety in the first round that may have not been high on other people's boards, but obviously you thought he was worthy of the Packers green. So, what were your thoughts on the draft?
I actually didn't even want to draft that strong safety. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I had my draft board. He was on my draft board. I liked him, but I didn't like him at that pick. When I went in to draft and I pulled up went to pull up my draft board, it just said make a selection. It didn't give me the option to pull up my draft board. So when I hit make a selection, I thought I was going to pull up my draft board, and consequently, Madden drafted Robin to me at pick in the first round. Otherwise, I was
so you're saying there's shenanigans involved?
I'm saying, in hindsight, I'm happy with the pick. I did scout him. He's been good for me. He's leading my team in tackles when I was hurt. 99 toughness, 99 injury, hurt, on and on tackle. But yeah, I was happy with the draft. It went fast. I like that you saw the trades happen in front of your face, right on the screen. I like that there were the guys that weren't projected to go in rounds that ended up being decent attribute wise, that you could take a flyer on and get somebody good. The one that ranked with the Bears, we'll start talking about the dude Meteor, who huge and fast, kind of like Matt Jones with the Jaguars, I guess, but that's some things that are very bad. But otherwise, I was happy with how things went, how fast things went. Like King said, there's a lot of teams that weren't as active that had crazy good drafts. I think in the future, if somebody can make the draft, they could pretty much bank on Madden drafting need-based and getting them good players. But I won't more.
Yeah, I mean, we got it in about just over 2 hours. So that's pretty good for a full 7-round draft with 32 guys. I'll tell you, the one thing I definitely did like about the draft was they had added in some walk-on players, which was pretty cool because there were guys that you couldn't scout pre-draft, but were available to take a chance on. So that's where your Tom Brady type players come in, and just looking at a couple of people, the players that they picked up, there was some nice talent to be had. So you could actually really have a nice draft year in and year out, just doing your homework. I know not everybody did their scouting, but if you do all your homework and you're prepared, you can definitely fill your roster in pretty well. So I thought it definitely went well. So, obviously we're in week 6 now, week 6 of the league. So, we're already almost halfway there, guys, already almost to the midway point of the season. So, a lot of stuff going on in the UFL as usual. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. The first thing I want to do is talk about obviously the rookies. We just got done talking about the draft a little bit, so we'll talk about the rookies. And Wright and Reyes did a nice job with putting together his top 5 rookie review. If you guys haven't had a chance to check that out, please do. He did a real nice job on it. I think everybody on the pods had a chance to look at it. So, Jersey, I haven't gotten to you. Let me I'll start with you, buddy. What are your thoughts on the Wright's article and any general thoughts, as far as the rookie class thus far? So
it was the best best content anybody's ever written in the history of the UFL. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay. Do you agree with the selections and the rankings and anything you would change?
100% agree with everything that man wrote. He's a genius. He knows so much about football. He's just the smartest man in the fucking world. All right, Kendra Russ, holla at your boy.
And my third question, is he in the room next to you and or holding a pistol to your head?
Nah, you gotta love Ray.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He was the reason why I got Kendra Russ. He sees him doing big numbers and big things, and, you know, it was in his heart to go out and do the content. You know what I mean? And I think he had to eat some humble pie putting his dude number 2. You know what I mean? So, you know, Kendra Russ, holla at your boy.
All right, Kendra Russ, everybody. Did a real nice job on the article. Grant, what are your thoughts on the article? Is there anybody that's missing or that you think should have been higher, lower on the ranking there?
No, I think everything's pretty good. I think a lot of people were surprised of how I moved up and got Reggie Caruthers. Other than that, no, I think everything was pretty well done.
Good, very good, very good. I mean, well done article, guys. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, I mean, just looking through the rookies, number 5, Jarius Gilliam of the Buffalo Bills, having a great season for myself. Just a terror in the middle of the field. I was more than ecstatic to land him, with the 13th pick. So, thanks to the Chargers for trading with me. So. Also, Aaron Wiles of the Arizona Cardinals. One of the things I think that's been lacking in Arizona is a running game, and it looks like the Cardinals have found their guy with Aaron Wiles. So the only thing that they haven't been finding though is the win column lately. So they're gonna keep working on that. But it's nice that they have a little more than just a passing game. So Aaron Wiles actually fourth in the league in yards through 5 weeks. So
he's my number 1. Aaron Wiles, number 1 right now.
You think so, Dave?
Absolutely. And I say that for 2 reasons. Well, more than 2, but I'll just leave it at 2. Is one. When you look at the owner, he probably passes 80% of the time, never really could get the run together, and finally Aaron Wiles is the person that's been able to do it. And the second reason is, ever since Aaron Wiles came on, the Cardinals are 1-0 against the 49ers, and he's the reason why. That's why he's my number 1.
Good stuff. Good points. Good. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we all know Go Cards Go is excited to have him. So, he's putting up pretty solid numbers, averaging 6.4 yards a carry through 5 games. So, number 3 on Wright's rankings was Cody Meyer, quarterback of the Houston Texans. Now, obviously, we haven't. Black Magic's missed some time with the power outages, down on the East Coast there, but. Meyer's still putting up pretty good numbers. He actually played his first game through 3 touchdown passes with him. He's had some great games, some up and down games. The Texans are currently 3-2. But again, without the ownership there, he hasn't been able to be in control of the player himself. So, but just personally playing with him myself, I could tell you he's pretty solid. He puts the ball where it needs to go, and 68% completion percentage right now, and he's the number 3 quarterback in the league as far as QB rating. So number 3 in the league, and he's missed some games, so that's pretty solid. So number 2 on Wright's list was Demetrius Burns, running back that Wright took late in the first round. Guy's putting up some pretty solid numbers, some pretty scary numbers. 7.8 yards a carry. He's 3rd in the league in rushing yards at 649 rushing yards. He's got 10 touchdowns, which leads the league. So he's putting up some pretty big numbers for the Jets, which obviously they're 5-0, which I think we all would have guessed. So, and number 1, Kendra Russ of the Dallas Cowboys. Guys putting up huge numbers for the Cowboys, as the Cowboys are sitting 4-1 right now. Just huge number. It's almost like Megatron. They know he's throwing it there, but he's just unstoppable. Catching the ball. I think he had like 300 yards a game or something like that. he set some records, but he's averaging 172 yards a game, which is just incredible. Only 5 touchdowns, which is kind of light, but I'm sure there's more to come. So, which is the exact same as A.J. McCain had, 5 touchdowns through his 4 games. Some other notables that he noted was tight end Chris Martin of the Chicago Bears having a great season so far, 538 yards, 6 touchdowns. I know Frank's ecstatic to get him. The guy's a freak of nature. He's tall, he's fast, he can block. I think this guy puts Frank over the top as far as a playoff push. Just really creates some matchup nightmares for the opposing defense there. So Denver Broncos looks like they found a gem in Devontae Walker. 11 receptions, 452 yards. Guy's averaging 41 yards a catch and 6 touchdowns. So definitely got to keep an eye out for this guy. 41 yards a catch. So definitely an honorable mention there. And also Barry Morgan of the Miami Dolphins defensive end. Now, I said last year that they needed to find somebody to get to the quarterback. They ranked either last or near last in the league in sacks, and they got a guy that's got 5 sacks already through 5 games, which is first among the rookies and 7th in the entire league as far as sacks. So looks like they found a guy that can get to the quarterback. And, they didn't they got the receiver in the first round, so they definitely got a value pick here, a guy who's going to be able to play some football. So, definitely, nice job to write in the article, but we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on the rookies. There's quite a few other guys having decent years, so we'll see at the end of the season. One guy that I'm going to call out on the as far as the rookies is the Panthers defensive end Troy Cash. I'm ready to put the bust label on him. I don't know about you guys, but 2 sacks through 5 games. I know Biz was pretty hyped up about him, but really haven't seen the numbers coming. With 2 sacks and with the Panthers playing as well as they are, I mean, 2 sacks in 5 games seems it's a little off pace there. I think he's ranked like 100th in the league or something like that. So, definitely gonna keep an eye on Cash as he tries to improve those numbers. So, guys, we're gonna do a division overview. And I want to get your guys' input on this. I'll let you guys do some talking here. Why don't we start with Rorbotron? You here, buddy?
Yep.
All right. What are your thoughts? You're in the NFC, obviously, but what are your thoughts? Just looking at the AFC, a quick overview. Anything that sticks out to you? Obviously, we got the Titans at 1-4 right now. AFC South looking pretty tight. The AFC East, 2 undefeated teams. Any general thoughts on the conference? As we get to the mid-season point.
As far as what I think is going to be in the playoffs, is what I think is going on right now.
Just anything that you think stands out as far as underachievers, overachievers, things that you expected.
Well, DG 3-2, which after the run, I figured he could carry some momentum into this season, but he's not right now. But I don't know how many of those games he's played. And, you played well last season, and I expect you to continue it, but you're undefeated, so I think it's just
sure.
Maybe a change at the guard in the AFC. And then, other than that, Money Matt had a couple of games that tied him for 1, and he had 1 spin. And Renard 3-2, where he was absolutely horrid last season. So, it seems there's a lot more parity this time out in this game in general. I mean, it's everybody's game, and given Sunday and on Monday or Thursday, however it works. And because of that parity, I think the game more enjoyable for everybody across the board.
All right, good stuff, man. Yeah, definitely some things, some interesting things to talk about. For first and foremost, I think if we would have done preseason predictions, we would have had the Raiders, easily atop the AFC West. That is not the case though so far through 5 weeks. The Raiders are 1-3 and at the bottom of the AFC West. Also, the Tennessee Titans at 1-4 in the AFC South. I'm sure many would have predicted him to be 4-5-0 at this point, 4-1, 5-0. Just those are two teams right there that I would have picked as division leaders. Also, the Cleveland Browns ended the season, I believe, on a 5 or 6 game win streak, and he comes out of the gate 1-3. Some tough battles, but I'm surprised he didn't come out with some more momentum. Obviously with the success he had with Trent Richardson last season, come out with a little bit better, maybe a 2-2, a 3-1. Definitely did not expect him to be 1-3. So, Jersey Tank, let me ask you, what are your thoughts as far as the Oakland Raiders and slow start? Made the trade to get some got Darren McFadden out of there, got some other help. What are your thoughts on Oakland? Why the slow start?
The team is weak. It just comes down to his wide receivers can't hold on to the ball. I don't think he's too. I wouldn't have moved McFadden, but I ain't the best judge of trades and all that. I just think they need to hold on to he needs wide receivers that'll hold on to the ball in tight situations, because nowadays, nobody's just playing man or just playing zone. There's always combo coverages being thrown at you. And when you have a guy who can't hold on to the ball while getting hit, it's a problem. But that's my biggest reason why him and any team is losing. Mostly the Raiders, because, they have a lot of fast guys that'll... I also think that, the slower guys sometimes are better running routes versus zone coverage, because they don't run into defenders as quickly after they catch the ball. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong right there, but I've noticed that if a guy is in mid-80s running a route against zone, for example, a slant or an in, he'll catch it and hold and get a couple steps in before he gets slammed into a linebacker or something, or a safety. So that's what I think. He just needs to find some wide receivers with catching traffic.
Kind of like how Plex does it over in Seattle, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, man. Yep. Plex, but now.
So Eddie Murphy, the rookie quarterback, is he taking the blame for the fact that the wide receivers can't hold on to the ball?
I wouldn't put it on him. I would just put it on the wide receiving core. You know what I mean? It really doesn't matter who you have at quarterback. Pryor could have done the job if you would have gave him the wide receiving core I have. You know what I mean? I got basically 3 number ones over here in Dallas, so I haven't had to deal with that issue. But me using other teams, I've seen where if his awareness is a little low, or if his catching traffic is low, and I know EA bumped up catching traffic, but if it's low, it's low. You know what I mean? It don't matter how much EA bumps it up. If your guy can't catch in traffic, it's not going to happen. So
good points. Definitely the difference between winning and losing. I can tell you from personal experience. If the guys don't hold on to the ball, if there's too many drops, especially third down situations, your team's not going to win games and they're not going to be successful. So very good points as far as the receivers got to improve their game. If they're going to take the next step. King, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on the Titans tipping 1-4? I don't think anybody would have expected that on the bottom of the AFC South. What are your thoughts there? Is it just opponents, or is it rhythm, or CJ Chris Johnson being injured? I mean, is it a little bit of everything?
I'm going to be honest. I have absolutely no idea. I would not have put it that low. I would have thought the Titans would have been leading that division, just like you said. But Renard doing a great job. But let's see. The Titans, they did play. They lost to the Bengals, the Bucks, Jets, and then their most recent was the Jaguars. So, they haven't had the easiest schedule. But at the same time, they're...
Come on, the Jaguars.
They lost by 3 points. Only 3 points. But, they lost to the Bengals by 3, lost to the Bucks by 6, and the Jets, they did lose by 2 scores there, but I mean, they are close games. I could still see a turnaround, but if it doesn't happen within week 6 or 7, it's not happening, because I think week 6, let me just take a quick look. Yeah, he's got a division game against the Texans, and then week 7 is the Steelers. So, I mean, those are 2 big games going on a 1-4 record.
And as we know, the Texans, even though he's missed time, they're they're on top of that division at 3-2, and Black Magic is now back under control of the team, so that's going to be a great game. Really looking forward to seeing that game, because if the Titans can't win this game, I mean they're going to have to pretty much run the table if they're going to get into the playoffs. So definitely going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. If Cody Meyer can continue his efforts and continue to be successful. Or is Tippin, like we've seen so many times, going to turn it around and get things back on track? He is 1-3 at home, and he's only one division game, so that definitely leaves room for optimism. He's only played one division game, so got a big game coming up, definitely for sure. So, all right, guys, moving along. Let's take a look at the NFC. Jersey, I'll talk to you first, man. What are your thoughts? Or I'm sorry, Slush, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. Just overview on the NFC. Any thoughts so far this season? Anything stick out as far as improvements or teams struggling? I mean, just quickly looking, we got the Rams at 3-1. Even the NFC West looks like it's going to be a dogfight this year. Panthers, the only team left in the NFC at undefeated at 5-0. Falcons playing well. What are your thoughts in this conference?
It's going to be a tough battle for everybody, I believe. Like you said, the Panthers are 5-0. I played him. He's very well rounded. He can take it to the distance anytime, even on defense. The NFC West, I thought it would be a landslide, but holy crap, it's really, really tight. Back to King's points on Wiles with the Cardinals, he actually really found something in him, and he's running the gauntlet right there, and he already beat CG, which is pretty crazy, I think. And Man in Motion, with the Rams, he's very under the radar. He is a very good player, so do not sleep on him. For the East, with the Cowboys, I think Jersey Tank made some mistakes in the offseason, but his record doesn't show it, which is a good thing. The Redskins with SRC, he's pretty decent, but he just cannot win games. I mean, he's good, but I'll bet against him. For the South, like I said, the Panthers with 5-0, they're doing outstanding. They can score at any time, any possession. You just got to be careful with him. And the Falcons are a surprise. They were horrible last year. And what a nice turnaround. The last 2 games they've lost, but they're doing things in the South there. And then the North, my division, again, it's another a dogfight again. I'm in 3rd place currently. I'm going to beat Rory tonight. He's going to throw a lot of picks to me. A lot of pick sixes I'm predicting. But
Nice.
But in all honesty, he can also score on any time. Rory, he's really good. I'm not going to sleep on him. Frank with his Bears and Kaz with his Lions. I brought my A game when I beat Kaz the other night, and I'm going to have to bring it again when he comes to town. But this division is up in the air as well, and the NFC is just taking care of business.
Yeah, definitely a lot of storylines in the NFC. Pretty much every single division is up for grabs, with the exception maybe of the NFC East. Just looking at that, with Jersey Tank on top at 4-1, the Redskins at 2-4 trailing. Giants, Frank's still struggling. Receivers still aren't catching the ball. He's 0-3 at home. They're 0-3 at home and 1-4 in total. And the Eagles at 0-5. Robo, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. What are you? Any thoughts on the Eagles at 0-5? I mean, loaded with talent. I mean, I know he's had some injuries, but 85 points in 5 games and an 0-5 start is there a cause for panic? I mean, or are they going to turn things around here?
Well, I mean, I know as good as anybody it's super easy to throw interceptions here. It's shameful that I throw as many interceptions as I have with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how many picks he has with Michael Vick, but I'm actually going to check right now. But I would anticipate he's turning the ball over a pretty decent amount. I don't care for Vick at all as a quarterback. Yeah, 6 TDs to 15 interceptions. You know, the success that that team has had in previous seasons, and not only the game, but the previous seasons, is just running the football with man who shall remain nameless. Thinking Duncan taking a shot when you need to. I think it's easy to get in trouble with that team, much like it's easy for me to get in trouble with the Packers. There's so many options on offense that I think you maybe get overconfident with the team. You can run with it, but his accuracy is terrible. So you're going to make throws that you think you should make. The receivers are good, but people are running purple coverage manually a lot now, which takes away the side post, and it's trouble. And I think this is happening with Ford, and because he's been on and off his game, he left at one point, came back. He just hasn't been able to get any kind of consistency out that way. But I anticipate that, once he settles down, he gets more comfortable.
Yeah, good. I mean, good stuff. Good stuff. I think definitely part of it's rust. I mean, he did take some time off, so just coming back into the swing of things. I mean, I'd say it probably took everybody about a half season to maybe even a full season to kind of get their game plan going. Definitely the injuries are hurting with LaShawn McCoy missing time, as well as Deshaun Jackson, who he's been trying to move. However, the UFL Labor Committee blocked the trade, so he's probably going to get cut from the rumor mill. He's probably going to get cut next season. He was franchised this season. He's probably going to end up getting cut. So I definitely think it's going to be a big makeover. And you may be right. Mike Vick could be on his way out of Philadelphia. So obviously not very impressive numbers. And you're not going to win ball games when you're averaging 13, 14 points a game. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, definitely a cause for concern, but I'm sure Jersey Tank's not complaining. So, that's the NFC East. Now let's, looking at some of the other divisions like the NFC North, we have a pretty good race going between the Lions, Bears, and Vikings. Rory, you're a little bit behind, but you're a second half guy. You always come strong in the second half of the season. So I mean, we're definitely not. We're only five games in, so there's some optimism there.
He's 0-3 on the road, so that's gonna be real tough.
Yep.
It also needs to be said, going back to the Eagles, he's played Flex, he's played Kaz, and he's played Rice. And his first game was against SRC, and he played Frank too as well. And Frank too, he's having his own struggles. He's no pushover. So, to be honest, most schedule hasn't been too friendly either. So even with the rust, add in the schedule, add in Vick and his inaccuracy, I'm not surprised the Eagles are playing poorly right now. And then he has you next, and then he plays Jersey. Then he has a bye week. Then he plays the Panthers and CG. And he still has.
That's some schedule.
He still has Jersey again. Then he gets man in motion. I mean, he's got a nightmare schedule, and I don't expect him to turn the corner. If I don't turn the corner, it's going to be G&I at the top of the draft, and it finally rolls around in a month.
Yeah, definitely a multitude of things. I mean, like you said, the schedule is just horrible. And then obviously not having your key players isn't going to help any. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I could see why there's some struggles there. You would just hope that they'd be able to win one, maybe two of those games, and make a statement, and try to at least go 500 through the first half. Maybe make a push when the guys get healthy, but not the case. So, looking at the NFC West guys, Seahawks, which we would expect 4-1. Rams at 3-1. Cardinals, surprisingly good start. He lost his last game, but 3-2. And also the 49ers at 3-2. So who's coming out of this division? Because I mean, the Rams, they had a boatload of picks. Got some nice players. the Cardinals stocked up in the draft and got Kurt Warner back in the fold. 49ers are stacked every season, and the Seahawks, with his new quarterback, Kellen Moore, putting up MVP numbers. Slush, I'll ask you, what are your thoughts on this division? I mean, is Plex pretty much the front runner in this division, or do any of these other guys have a shot to win the division?
Plex, yeah, that's Plex division. To be honest, he has it taken care of. He has all the right weapons. He knows how to handle it. Kellen Moore tearing it up. Plex all the way, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing great football right now, 3-0 at home, playing 215 points of offense, second only to the Bears, who are also having a great year on offense. But, in that Kellen Moore system, just doing some real nice things. Number one in the league in passer rating. I think he's got like 137 passer rating or something crazy.
Damn.
So, definitely, he knows what he's doing. So, but very, very surprising to see the Rams at 3-1, as well as the 49ers at 3-2. So, I believe he did win his Week 6 game, so he's 4-2 now. But again, it's a very, very tight, very close. Lots of marquee matchups. These guys will sort it. These guys are gonna sort it out. Haven't had a ton of division games so far. Most of them have only played one or two, so a lot more division games to be played. So, but I think just overall looking at the two conferences, nothing's really settled yet. We have definitely at least two teams in every division. I guess even the Redskins at 2-5 still have a shot, but NFC East may be the only division that's going to be tough for anybody to make a run. But every other division, at least two, sometimes even 3 and 4 guys have a shot. And I think that just goes to show the parity we have in the league. Like you guys were talking about, the Giants not being a pushover. I don't think really anybody in the league's a pushover. I mean, every single game is a pretty tight game. There's no easy win in the league. So, so a lot of stuff going on, and it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out with the playoff races, which will be coming up in the next few weeks or so. So, guys, that's our division overview. Now, I had everybody get their top 5, so I want to go through. You guys can list off your top 5, and also please explain why you picked that team in that spot. Kind of like our mini power rankings on here. So. We'll see kind of where everybody matches up and where we disagree, and we could kind of talk about it a little bit. So, King Ju, I'll start with you. What are your top 5 starting from 5 to 1?
Well, I have a tie at number 5. I have the Cowboys and Ravens tied at number 5. If you forced me to pick one at number 5, I'd probably take the Ravens just based on their that loss was Sim, and they lost to the Bengals in a real close one. At number 4, I have the Panthers, although they're undefeated. I mean, it's really hard to really go against them. They are number 1, I think, in points scored, points allowed per game. They have the best defense in that regard. But I feel their schedule's been somewhat weak, so that's why I put them at number 4. Number 3, I went with the Seahawks. I can't really argue against the Seahawks. They have 1 loss. They're second with points per game. And then 2-1 was difficult for me, but based on subbing and simming wins, I put number 2 at Bengals and number 1 is the Jets. I just see the Jets being very powerful. When you look at their stats, their players, their schedule, that pretty much wraps up my top 5. I will say I did leave off at first. I put the Bills in my top 5. And then when I looked at their schedule, I realized that their 5 games, their opponents are 5-14. So they're scoring a lot of points, but I can't, those wins, I just can't really buy them all. I give them 2 or 3 wins if they're facing winning opponents, but that's my top five: Ravens, Seahawks, Panthers, Bengals, and Jets at number one when rolled backwards.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, solid top five. I mean, the guys that you don't have to be undefeated to be, a top five team. So, very nice selections there. Jersey, what are your top five? Yo.
So this is really, really serious. I sat down and I evaluated everybody's record and their strength of opponents and all that. All right. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills. All right.
Boom.
There you go, son.
All right.
I picked the Bills because, Sway put in work. He improving. That's all you can do. He getting hot at the right time. They don't really got to do with who you play because, you playing the game, really. People adjust and people do shit, but it's kind of early. So I'll put Sway at number 5. Number 4, I'll put the New York Jets. My man Wright at number 4.
Wow, number 4.
Number 4. I got left
right.
for Wright. I got left for Wright, but he at number 4 right now. All right. At number 3, Wright's arch nemesis, Mr. Plex. Writing him go back and forth and shit. And I think Plex, going to the Super Bowl. That's the promise, man. He ain't win, but he got there. At number 2, we got the Baltimore Ravens and Darn Good. Darn Good is
nice.
The type of dude that he's gonna find a way to win. He's gonna find a way to get to the quarterback. He's gonna find a way to force you to run the ball. You gotta, I don't know how talented the secondary is, but when I played him, he forced me to run the ball. And I should have ran it more than what I threw. 'Cause I threw a bunch of picks, and I still lost by a small margin. But regardless, he forces you out of your game plan. And
that can only leave one team for number 1.
Who's the number 1?
The Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys at number 1.
No homer.
No homer picks. I just know I'm the greatest player alive. Y'all better know. Kendra Russ is number 1, but we had to put teams. I picked the Cowboys. Holla at your boy. Cowboys.
Nice job. Nice list, man. Thanks for the Bills love. Rory, Mr. Yaki, what are your top 5?
The Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, and then the Green Bay Packers, and
Packers are where?
The Packers are in that top 5.
You're supposed to say why you picked them in that spot.
I mean, they're up there because they're in the NFC North, really. But no, the realistic top 5, I didn't put as much thought into it as I did with with PG or even Jersey. I put you at 5. I would put you higher, but your strength of opponents is the best right now. I think because you were winning so much last season, you're carrying the wins into this season. I really don't expect you to really slow down, especially with the amount of pressure you're getting with Brad and his rookie. Who else was next? I'd probably put Money Matt next. He's had 1 spin win, and I felt another, but he just plays smart, plays strong, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he's routinely up there. 3, I would probably put Jersey. Also, for some of the reasons that I put you at 5, because strength of schedule is the best, but as Jersey says, he's playing the game. I really see the top 5 as kind of interchangeable thing right now. I haven't played DG at all. I mean, based on what people say about his game, I really want half of them are top 5, but in that 3 and 2, I play the what have you done to me lately game, and I'm not going to put in that top 5. Which leaves Wright and Flex as a sticky top for me. Actually, I'm going to put Flex at 2 and Wright at 1. Wright has that running back, and I subbed some money, and that running back is dangerously fast. So much so that it's almost
Burns?
Yeah. It's hard to stop him from getting to the outside. And you really got to sit over top, get some sort of safety to take over, manually bump the corner and hope that the safety will take the receiver when he breaks off, because he just gets outside. From what Wright told me after the game, he didn't on speed. I haven't looked at his stats, but
So you got right at number 1 or number 2?
Right at number 1, Flex at number 2.
All right, good stuff. Slusher, what are your top 5?
My top 5. I scratched out a few names, but I do have a top 5 here. At number 5, I had Detroit with Kaz.
Wow.
He's a good player. I give him a lot of credit, and he's in my division, even though I don't like him.
Is that because you're in his alliance?
No, he's pretty good. He did make the playoffs last year, so I do give him credit for repping the North, but losing was horrible. But I think he's a good player. But like I said, I scratched him out and I put the Dallas Cowboys. Jersey is a good player. Like I said before, I disagreed with this trade with DeMeco Murray, but he's winning games, and that's what counts. Number 4, I also did another scratch out. I had Atlanta Falcons. I'm about the underdog, I gotta say, but I scratched him out, and then I put Houston. Even though he had a few subs, Magic can also win games. He has Cody Meyer to throw the football. He has Arian Foster to run it, and their offense is pretty high-powered once he plays. At number 3, I have the Buffalo Bills.
Sweet.
With the scheduling that has happened over the past 5 weeks, maybe the opponents have not been that strong, but they are wins, and they do tell a lot. I think the Bills have a really good thing going on through defense. Their linebacking core is outstanding. Even though I feel the pain of the league when Sway talks about Gilliam and Nigel Bradham, but hey, they're putting up numbers, and you can't lie about that. Number 2, I also did another scratch out, but I originally put the Panthers. Back to my points earlier in the podcast, I was talking about he can score in any possession, and that's the truth. But I scratched him out and I put Plex. Plex just because he knows how to win games, and everyone was really shocked when he got Kellen Moore, and he was all about Kellen Moore. Well, it proves to be that he knows everything about Kellen Moore, and he's making things happen there. And then number 1, I put the Jets. AFC East in the top 5 here. Wright can win games. He knows how to do it, and he's been doing it, and it's a proven fact. Number 1, Jets.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I mean, wins a lot of ball games out there in New York, and I think with his halfback, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. My top 5 guys, I had the Panthers at 5-0. Number 5, I mean, just looking at his defense and what he's done with with those points, 44 points allowed through 5 games is just amazing. He just had a shutout last week, 30-0. And, obviously hot off that NFC Championship game last year, taking that steam right into this season. I think he's gonna be doing very well. So we'll see what happens with that. I had to put myself at number 4, 5-0. I feel like if I played the Panthers, we'd come out winners, obviously. Just with the way our defense is playing and getting the offense rolling, we're 3rd in the league in scoring behind the Bears and the Seahawks. So we're putting up over 40 points a game. So I just I think, obviously a homer pick, but I feel, we're 5-0, so that deserves some damn credit. Number 3, the Cincinnati Bengals, obviously money math, 4-1. I believe his one loss was a sim loss or a sub loss or something. But he obviously guy knows how to win games. So I mean, you gotta have the guy up there. You just gotta. I don't think I would ever in a million years put myself in front of Money Matt or any of these other 2 guys. So. Seahawks at number 2. He's 4-1. Had the loss to the Steelers, but again, Kellen Moore, he's doing incredible things with Moore. The guy's got a 75 throw power arm, and he's just doing some crazy things with the guy. So, kudos to Plex for understanding the game, how the game works, and capitalizing on the systems that he has in place. So, and number one, I got the Jets at 5-0. Guy's doing, Wright's doing his thing. He's got his running game going, and he's right off to where he was last year. Just kicking ass and taking names. So, it's going to be interesting. I play him after the bye week. I think it's going to be an interesting game, but I don't see Wright losing many games this season. So, those are my top five. So, guys, real nice job on the top fives. I'm glad to see some differing opinions. I think we can all pretty much just say the Bengals, Jets, and Seahawks are pretty high up there. Nice to see some other teams get in there as well. So nice job on that. Before we wrap up here, guys, on the podcast, I just want to go around. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to get on the airways? Do you want to plug, your blog or talk about your team or whatever have you? But, you guys are participating in the podcast, so I want to get you guys on and just, if you have anything to say. If you don't, that's fine as well. So, Kingju, you got anything to add before we wrap up tonight?
No, I'm pretty good. Go AFC West.
All right, Dave doing big things with them Chargers, so we'll see what happens. 3-2, right?
That's right, and 2-0 in the division right now.
Wow, there you go. Antonio Gates.
Absolutely. Got ourselves a new starting running back, too, so not doing really any better, but at least he catches the ball and got some speed, too.
Nice job, man. Robotron, you got anything to add besides pounding on your keyboard?
Just,
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. Thank you. Jersey, you got anything to add?
Kendrum Russ.
Okay, well done. And Grant, anything to add on, from a league standpoint?
Yeah, I think I have the best contribution right here for final words. Just the thought that came to mind when you were talking about your top five, Sway. I think that the way that you play is a reflection of your division. I know that coming into this division, I was very worried about Kaz, and I know Frank is a solid player, and also Rory. And I feel like I've become a better player having these guys in my division, so thank you for that on a personal note. And then also, I think everyone who plays in the division is a reflection of that. So, for example, Sway, you're stepping up your game. You haven't won so many games in a row like this before, because I know I've been in your division. But since you have Wright in your division and you have some other elite players, Einig, and a veteran that knows how to play the game and always gives you trouble, I mean, it's just a reflection of your division that you play in. And then also, I'm keeping up with that website, so please pump out some content so I have some carrots to work with.
Yes, doing a very nice job as well. I got to give you all the credit on the website. You've been really handling that the last few weeks, so real nice job on that, keeping that going. Guys, please make sure you're voting on the polls. Make sure you're checking the website daily for any new information on there. We try to, Slush does a good job keeping it updated, keeping it fresh. So make sure you're getting on there, checking that out. Who knows? We may make you read it and post that you read it, or else the hammer drops. So
get the money.
Who knows? Thor's hammer. But yeah, no, guys, nice job so far. 6 weeks into the season, we're moving right along. So, with the exception of a couple people, I think we've been moving right along with games getting played. Most of the times, I think with the 9 o'clock advances, people are pretty eager to get their games in the night of the advance, which is great. Gives us a nice start for the week. So, nice job with that. Please, like Slush said, try to pump something out. I mean, we have tables for crying out loud now. You can do a nice little power ranking. You can do anything. They don't take a whole lot of time. Obviously, if you want to do a game recap, you can do that as well. But there's ton. If you guys are looking for some sort of, you guys are looking for some sort of content, please, if you need help on anything, let us know so we can help you with that. So, my final comments, guys, just keep plugging away. Again, everybody's doing a great job. I don't really have anything to add other than that. We're going to definitely a lot of storylines, a lot of things to talk about, as we go on, continue on with the rest of the season. So it'll be interesting. But like Slusher was saying, with everybody getting better, I think everybody's just generally getting better, playing the game. I've seen it from the new Patriots owner. His game stepped up. Some of the guys who have struggled a little bit, like our Chargers owner, he's stepping his game up. Everybody's just playing a better game, and I think it's making for a better experience overall. So nice job to that, guys. Long live the UFL, and thank you for listening to the podcast. This is the Ultimate Football Show, Season 4, Episode 6. Thanks for listening, guys.